Hey, good morning, Operation RV. Thanks for tuning back in. I know it's been a bit since I had a video put out, but today is going to be a special video because, like the title has it, we are installing the Banks Monster Ram here in Gaston. Stick around, let me show you what we got. I've gone ahead and laid out all the tools that we'll need. I'll go ahead and drop the link here too, also with the video on how to install this and all the parts and tools as well. But these are all the ones that you need. The only ones missing here is the telescoping magnet, the adhesive spray, and that's pretty much it, which I'll get that on later on. So let's dig in this box and see what we got. Super excited for this deal. It's been a long time waiting. We're about to let Gaston breathe a little bit better, maybe get some extra ponies. And fuel mileage, look at that, guys. Oh yeah, this is everything. Everything you need, the entire kit for the install, which got everything prepped. And let's go ahead and start installing. To save everyone time, I'll go ahead and link the actual full video in here to have this done. I'm going to just show some tricks and things that I found out that work for me if you don't have specific tools that allow you to get in some of these crevices. So first and foremost, go ahead and take off your pan. Then go ahead and take the cap off, take all of the bolts out. You'll take off the dipstick, put that back in, which allows us to take this bracket off, which you will be throwing away. And next, I use this wrench here, or this socket that actually let me get down inside here to take off the support bracket, which I had to use a screwdriver here to stick down in here and wedge it off. All this is going to be discarded. So now we go ahead and take this off here and we'll continue forward. Go ahead and take the EGR valve here off. I went ahead and used an 11mm wrench to get these clamps off. Most importantly, there's two gaskets here, one on this side, one on that side. You want to make sure the orientation and get it off, they do not fall. You will be reusing those. Next, we'll go ahead and take off the heat shield here and keep going forward. I like to use a wobble extension in this case because us a couple bolts back here, as you can see, you can't go straight up and down. You're going to need to kind of use that at an angle. So definitely a recommendation. So I got the intake out, and must say, man, this is kind of scary. All the crap that gets built up in there. I got about 247,000 miles on Gaston. Check this out. That is insane. Look at that. How much soot buildup. Like, oh man, that's doesn't do justice on video. All right, let's keep going. Here's a quick side comparison of the Monster Ram versus the stock intake, and oh my gosh, huge difference. I went ahead and brought out the tape here. So you're probably getting maybe an inch and a half of induction there on the intake. Now look at this. Almost 3 inches, guys. And it's huge, it's deep. It's gonna open this truck up so well, as you see in all the reviews out there. I cannot wait to get this put on here. I want to just do a quick comparison. Let's go back to the engine side. Grid heater is now out, and as you see, that is pretty caked. But lo and behold, the bolt's still there. No catastrophic injuries to Gaston, so that's what we're here today for. So grid's out. Let's go ahead and take a look over here so I can show you what we got under the hood before we get to that point. So after you take out your heater grid bolts, you also want to get a bungee like it says instructions, and just hold up your fuel rail. And so now what we want to do is, as carefully as we can, go ahead and scrape all this stuff off, take out the supplied gasket that came with it, and we're going to use this scraper right here. I'll throw down in the description if you want to pick it up. And we're gonna get it all nice and cleaned up. Another helpful tip that I wanted to bring to light is once you scrape everything off, it's all gonna kind of get down in there into the manifold. And I just used a piece of cardboard and kind of put everything in a pile. What I want to do, I'm gonna act like a little scoop here. So put this like that and push it all to the side. So once you go ahead and scrape everything off, you see the pile of debris there in the intake. What I did is just folded a piece of cardboard, which is going to help me kind of scoop this out. And just like this. I'm just doing a little sawing method to get it all in there. Acts like a little spoon. And then I'm going to go ahead and take it out. So this is about how much soot was all stuck to that intake. So this is the point where you just want to take your time, get a good steel brush, scrape it in there. You can actually see the serial number stamped in there now. And what I did is just got a damp towel and just wiped it down now, letting it dry. And then let's go ahead and put this heater grid delete and fuel rail back on. All right, next go ahead and pull the temperature sensor out of the grid heater, and here it is on the new one. You want to go ahead and get a steel brush or SOS pad or something to clean off all the soot. Just screw that back in there. Keep in mind that the flat side here is for gasket. This side here with the embossed is top side. So you can also add gasket adhesive to help the install so it doesn't slip around. However, it is metal, but you do want to take note on the number here. You want to make sure that that is side down to the delete here. So I'll go ahead and flip it upside down to demonstrate. There's the numbers, just like right here. And you want it face down. And you want it towards the back. This tab is towards the back. So all in all, it should look just like this. Now we're ready for install. Next, while you're in there and have the throttle body off, go ahead and clean it off and out. I just used a little bit of carbon choke cleaner on a rag. And then you see it did pretty good justice on here. Back and forth, so make sure you do that. Scrape off the old gaskets. Then also here on the EGR, go ahead and scrape that off, get it all nice and cleaned up. And we're gonna go ahead and get this installed on the new intake. All right, so over here on bench side, you wanna go ahead and take the EGR throttle body off, like I mentioned. Go ahead and get it all cleaned up. And go ahead and reinstall everything, including the all the attachments here, like that screw, that right there that holds the other stuff on. Make sure you wanna put it on all your plugs. There are 4 plugs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the black one here, that one as well, and your map sensor. So go ahead and leave the heater bolt last once we get this installed, because that'll go on. We got to put a bolt down in the heater grid there. So bench side's done. Now let's go ahead and stab this in. So now that we got the heater grid delete, what you want to do is go ahead and just grab 2 bolts and just snug them in there a little bit to make sure everything's aligned. That way nothing moves as far as the gasket underneath the grid plate. So I did what the video said you're not supposed to do according to Banks, and I lost my banjo bolt washer in the engine bay. Also too, I dropped a the grid plate bolt somewhere down in the engine somewhere. Can't find it. Tried fishing for over an hour. It'll probably fall out the next bump I hit, but hey, in case you do what I did, go down to your local O'Reilly's. You can get a package of the M8 about 1.25 50mm bolts, which are these here. And as you see, those are the washers for it. They match right up to this bolt. Same length, same thread pitch, all that good stuff. So definitely a helpful tool. This is the banjo bolt washer, which I'll be using for the high pressure side. that'll probably fall out as well, but this should be helpful. Next, go ahead and loosen the band clamp here on the intake, and then you're going to take a screwdriver around the actual silicone coupling and kind of just do that so it's a little bit easier to get off. Next, you want to go ahead and unplug the map sensor, take off the PVC hose here, and next we're going to go ahead and take out the 5 bolts and get this intake out of here. Next, you want to go ahead and unplug all of your fasteners here that you see all the way around, and go ahead and pull it to the side so you can have some work room. Then you're going to take off the isolator pad, and now we are exposed to our injector lines, and let's see what we're happening next. Go ahead and cover your heater grid so nothing falls down inside. We're going to use a bungee here to hold over the dipstick and pull these next 3 wire retainers off of these studs. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then your last sensor there. Now that we're all out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and start working on this fuel rail. All right, another side note here, and something important. Had to run up to the auto parts store here and I picked up a set of these crow's feet. Highly recommended to get the 19 for these the fuel injector lines here. A regular open-ended 19-inch wrench is going to mar this, if not strip it. You don't want to happen. So I could tell this was on here pretty tight, and I was like, you know what, when in doubt, just go ahead and get the right tool. So definitely use this crow's foot 19-inch, and these bad boys pop right off. Another important factor that I want to recommend when using this crow's foot to get back in here on these last 3 injectors, there's 4, 5, and 6, is there's no leverage. So I'll use a cheater bar like this, and we should get these all back here broke loose to have more leverage. Keep that in mind. So I will say that the hardest part of this entire job was to getting 4, 5, and 6 high pressure lines off because of the angle and leverage and all that good stuff. But stay persistent, you will get it. Just come back, take a break, you'll figure it out. I got 1 bolt left here in the back, which that's all we need left, and essentially we're ready to lift the fuel rail off, and we'll go ahead and slide out this heater grid and give it a good look over and get it all cleaned up. All right, we got everything torqued down, 18 pounds. You see my 2 makeshift bolts here. Those are for the high rises. Also on the first, right here, first and fourth, second, and third, you're gonna put these spacers. So go ahead and tighten all of those down to 18 pounds. Put on your high pressure fuel rail line here and your banjo bolt with your washer, and make sure you tighten it down right here, right there. All right, my fellow YouTubers, we are done. And I will say this was grueling only because of how high the truck is. And so you're lifted up and how far back you got to go. And I was not using pneumatics. So literally I was using my step ladder here, had a little cushion, and just laid here for a couple of hours. So aside from that, overall success, everything bolted up just fine. I went through and followed the Banks video as well, step by step. So go ahead and you can find the link down in the description and follow along too. My video is specifically for my followers who don't know much about Banks and who's following my channel, and you got a Cummins within my year range and you want to do the Banks Monster Ram. So first and foremost, let's get it started. That's why we're here, right? All right, guys, moment of truth. We'll say it looks a lot better without the shield. You got the EGR pipe, and you got this huge monster ram. Dang, this thing is gonna breathe like a son of a gun. All right, let's grab these keys and start it up. All right, so we got 244,800 miles on this bad boy. So we're probably gonna need to prime it because all the fuel has come out of the rails. It'll take a second. It's doing it on its own. Stop that. Try it again. I won't bore you with this mundane information. Stick around, guys. Alright, guys. Firing up. I will say it brought out a little bit of smoke. And I think that's just due to all the soot and stuff that might have got blown back into the intake. But it does take a minute to prime all this fuel that got emptied on the fuel rail. So, let it warm up a second. Check for these leaks. I didn't see anything here, but it's always an absolute. All right, thanks for hopping in with me. Car time. We're taking it for a test drive. I've probably put about 5 to 7 miles on it. And it looks like I'm gaining anywhere between 2 and 4. Real quick recap, Banks Monster Ram Heater Grid Delete is amazing. Love it. Have no complaints yet. Other than, like I said, the install process. The truck's tall. You got to lay down. And 4, 5, and 6 was a pain in the rear. Like you just saw in the last clip, there was fuel dripping. I did have to have that serviced. Come to find out, number 5 injector that connects to the line, I guess it untorqued a little bit. Even though I made my marks all the way across, I didn't catch it. I guess due to exhaustion, whatever. But anyways, learning lesson. I'm happy. The truck's running good. More throttle response on the accelerator. The truck feels lighter. I'll say too, the MPG so far is getting up there where I want them to. And it's making my turbo sound a little bit louder, which is nice because the truck's breathing better. So again, guys, like all my other videos before, if you haven't seen them, check them out. Check the end card to look at the turbo silencer delete. Subscribe, comment, and guess what, guys? God bless. Until next time.